Then the Writing Center is not just for remedial students or developmental students or students that are getting a C on their paper, right? What I always say is, unless you're getting an A+ on your paper, then you can benefit from going in, sitting down, talking to a tutor for an hour, having them look over your paper, and help you with what you're doing, right? That being said, there is sometimes this thought about the Writing Center that if you go in and you bring your paper to a tutor, that you're definitely going to get an A, they're going to fix all your mistakes, all that kind of stuff, right? So that's not what we do. While we're really happy to help you with any step of the writing process, right? Whether you're brainstorming, pre-writing, writing a draft, revising using your instructor's comments, anything like that, the tutoring that we do in the Writing Center is not really about guaranteeing you an A. It's about kind of going through and focusing on a couple of things that you need to work on for that hour that hopefully you can learn something about how to write better and how to be more successful in your writing, so that when you get on to your later classes and you continue through your academic career, you'll actually take something away from your visit that will benefit you. So a little bit about the logistics. We're open, as you can see, we're open Monday through Thursday from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. And then Friday and Saturday we're open 10 until 3. Also, we are now offering walk-in times, right? Last semester it was all online, right? You had to go online and make an appointment and sign up, and then you could see a tutor. But now we're also offering walk-in times Tuesday from 10 until 3, and then Wednesday from 3 until 8. So the idea behind the walk-in times is if if you're not comfortable using the computer yet, or you're not comfortable making an appointment online, then you can come in. And then you'll still be seen by a tutor. What I've been finding as we've been doing these walk-in times is that as you show up to walk in, you end up having to wait, right? Because there's usually somebody ahead of you. And so what I've been finding is students that come for a walk-in time once or twice, after that, they pretty much figure out how to make an appointment online, right? Because you don't like sitting around waiting. You make the appointment, you can show up, and then you'll definitely be seen by a tutor. This flyer sort of goes through our general policies, right? This has both the hours that we were just talking about, the appointment times, and then the walk-in times. And then it goes through and sort of talks about the guidelines that we have in place to sort of ensure that you're making the best use. Hey.
Yes, come in this
to sort of ensure that you're making the best use that you can of the Writing Center, right? The main guideline is that we'll only meet with you once a day for an hour. And then the second big one that sort of sometimes catches people off guard is we won't meet with you on the day that your paper is due. Right? Our tutors are professional tutors. They take their work pretty seriously. And there's a lot of students in the school that sort of want help in the Writing Center, right? So we want to make sure that the people that are showing up, that are getting seen by the tutors and are making appointments, that they're actually prepared for the session, right? That they're not coming in on the day their paper's due. They come in at 2 in the afternoon and the paper's due at 5 and say, help me write my paper, right? So it's important that your paper is due at some later point in the future, and that you actually leave yourself some time to take advantage of what the tutor's telling you and sort of work with them and all that sort of stuff. The only other thing that I wanted to highlight is that we do group projects, right? If you have a group project and you want to come in and meet with the tutor as a group, then that's completely fine. But we just ask that every member of the group is actually present, right? Because we don't want some of you to be doing too much of the work or something like that. So the last thing that I wanted to cover before I let you guys get back to class is I wanted to go over the logistics of actually going in and making an appointment. So our website, as you can see from this handout, our website is hostos.mywconline.com, right?
Let me try to put it in, ladies and gentlemen.
And so
we can walk through this.
And so I know that there's been so many of you that actually said that you had appointments at the Writing Center, that you've been in there. And so you probably already have an account. But for those of you that don't, this will be the home screen. And then you click here. And then if you don't already have an account, you'll click here to register an account. It'll take you to this screen.
Excuse me, Matt, if you don't have an account, ladies and gentlemen, I suggest that you do create an account, all right? Those of you who have an account, just go into the spot.
And so you just need your email address,
Post email.
your first name, your last name, your telephone number, and then it's just a couple of questions that helps us know a little bit more about you as a student, right? So the way, yeah.
It has to be our household email or a regular email?
It does allow you to use regular email, so we always say use whichever email address that you're most comfortable with that you'll actually use. Yeah. And then, if you're a student in a specific program, or even if you're a staff member, and then we really like this question, right? What brings you to the Writing Center? Because it helps us sort of track what it is that we're working with and why students are actually taking advantage of the Writing Center and all that sort of thing, so we can sort of better serve you and sort of figure out what your needs are. Then there's a section here, your first or home language, your major, your CUNY First ID, is it your first time coming to the Writing Center, and then just create a password, right? For the password, I just really want to emphasize, just choose something that you'll remember, right? There is a process for resetting your password, but it's several emails, and then you eventually get your password reset. A couple of things about the appointment system, right? If you miss more than 3 appointments, the system automatically locks you out from making any more appointments, right? So again, if you miss 3 appointments, the system automatically locks you out and you won't be able to make any more appointments, unless you come and talk to me and tell me why you missed all those appointments, right? And the reasoning again behind that is this is a free resource that we offer to all students, and we have a lot of people that want to take advantage of it. So if you're taking up all the appointment times and you're not showing up, then we don't want you to keep making appointments. So I'll just log in and show you. All right. So this is an account that I created actually for a student. And what it is it shows you the schedule for the future, right? And it goes through any blue spaces. I guess I should be looking up here. Any blue spaces are actually appointments that have already been filled, right? Any white spaces are appointments that are still available. And then any dark purple spaces, those are times when the tutors are not available, right? So you guys will notice that because we're doing walk-in hours on Tuesday morning and Wednesday night, right? Because we're doing walk-in hours on Tuesday morning and Wednesday night, those spots are totally blacked out, right? So I've had it where a student gets frustrated and calls the Writing Center and says, I can't make an appointment for 5 o'clock. Why not? You don't have any tutors? And then I say, no, that's our walk-in hours, so you just have to show up. But any white space, you should be able to make an appointment. And then if you look up here, you can kind of go through and scroll through the rest of the semester. Eventually, there you go. You can kind of scroll through the rest of the semester and just see what days are available if you want to book an appointment in advance. When you actually make an appointment, it will email you a letter saying this is your appointment date, this is your appointment time. If you miss your appointment, it'll send you an angry email saying you missed your appointment. And the other thing with that is sometimes you have a teacher that either requires that you go to the Writing Center or rewards you for going, right? I'll give you extra credit if you visit the Writing Center this week.
Don't even think about it.
Come on.
Once in a while. So what we can do with, have you ever made an appointment with HALP for tutoring, with the actual Academic Learning Center? What they do is they actually give you a slip of paper that says, oh, we saw you, this was your appointment, all that sort of thing. But what we do is after you have an appointment with a tutor, then the tutor fills out a session report, right? And they talk about what you covered in the tutoring session, what you're going to work on later on the paper, what class it was for, all that sort of thing. And so after they're done with that and they complete that session report, if you want confirmation, they can email the session report to you, to your professor, or to anyone else that you give them permission to send it to, right? So if you have someone that you want it sent to or you want it sent to yourself, then just ask them at the time, you know, can you email this to me or something like that. I think that's pretty much my spiel. The Writing Center is physically located in C596, right? So C596 is the Academic Learning Center, and we're 596A, right? So you go into the Academic Learning Center, and then we're in a room on the left. Did I miss anything?
Oh, that's pretty much.
Do you guys have any questions for me? Say again. No questions? You're all going to keep using the Writing Center? The only other thing that I wanted to say then is just to re-emphasize that unless you are an A+ student, you will get something out of sitting down and meeting with a tutor, right? It's a free resource that's available through the college, and you should take advantage of it, especially, you know, the students that we see are the students that are already A- students, right? Those are the ones that they're coming in there, they have a pretty high GPA, they're doing pretty well, but they have other goals, right? They want to transfer to Baruch, they want to transfer to Lehman, they have these plans for themselves, and they want to prepare themselves as well as they can for the next level of their academic career. And so I want to really encourage you to be as prepared as possible as you go through, and hopefully the Writing Center is something that can help you with that. All right, thank you.